Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever Ember wanders near.
I do want to react to Rev's video because it's about Leaf, and of course I have to do my Friday night tradition. Do you think I could possibly do my Go Friday night without doing my Friday night tradition? Are you crazy? Of course not. So, let us jump into Rev's video about Leaf. You guys said that this is about her new software that she's coming out with, so I'm very curious what Rev has to say about it, and he's probably gonna bring up the Twitter freaks that are bitching and moaning about it being AI. So I'm just doing this because Leaf is my friend. He's and you know, this is something about her and her absolutely brilliant new software, and so I want to watch it. So let's take a look.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Leaflit situation, or as Asmongold would say, the Leafit situation. But this is someone who I'm sure most of you are aware of. We have a very overlapping audience. But it comes to me with a very heavy heart that things have gone too far. That's right, Leaflit has gone too far, and I'm going to join the countless ankle-biting, 100-follower, virtue-signaling V-tweeters who are currently attacking her to the point of trending on Twitter. Why, you ask? Why such a big...
Bravo, Leaf. Leaf is actually trending on Twitter, and that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Because, again, what Leaf is doing, I said this on Twitter. Like, I actually, like, retweeted her initial post about it, and I said on Twitter that this is amazing, and this is going to be game-changing for VTubers. And it's absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait to try it myself. I am anxiously waiting for Leaf to fine-tune her software, send me the software package so I can try it myself. I think it's going to be amazing. And thank you for the follow, Santiago.
Big shake-up, Rev. Well, I want to be on the right side of history, that's right, because all the good people, these self-proclaimed good people, are very mad at Leaflit for reasons that'll be very obvious in just a second. So, what did Leaflit...
Wait, sadly, Leaf is going a little insane because of the... Is she getting threats? Hold up, whoa! Hold up. Who the fuck is threatening Leaflit right now? In the hell is threatening Leaf? I want fucking names. Who thinks it's a good fucking idea to threaten my fucking friend? They are about to find the fuck out real goddamn quick. She became kind of depressed? Who fucking did it? I want to know who's coming at Leaflit for doing something fucking brilliant and game-changing. That is a fucking mistake. I will talk to her. I absolutely will talk to her and find out how she's doing. Absolutely, I will. Nobody fucks with my friends.
Do in this situation? Well, she has provided means to make VTubing more accessible. Yes, that is her irredeemable crime. Now, this comes in the context of a very loud debate in the VTubing scene about AI. And people, as we've seen, are virtue signaling about this. It's mostly nobody VTubers and VTweeters who have...
That's the key thing there. It's going to be about a bunch of nobodies who are basically part of the anti-AI bullshit that don't actually understand what the whole concept behind AI, why it's become so valuable. All they know is what they've been programmed by their fucking cult. Like, oh, AI is destroying real artists. You're evil, so we're going to attack you. Because they're fucking morons, and they don't have an actual, like, original thought in their own brains. They have to get fed it to them by their masters so they can lap at their feet like good little doggies.
Very strong opinions about this subject, basically saying you're not a VTuber, you're not a content creator, and you're even a terrible person for ever using AI. Now, Leaflit, who has used AI to produce some very funny content, music videos, etc., came out with something very useful, a very useful tool. And if it's not obvious already, I'm being very facetious when I say I'm canceling or disavowing Leaflit, okay? But she says this: I'm making a program that is a bridge between PNG tubing and live 2D. It's called Adventurer. You can make a model in less than 30 minutes and add new emotes in less than 5.
And by the way, I don't know if Rev's going to mention this, Leaf is offering this software for free. She is not asking for a fucking dime for this software. She has worked very, very hard on this. This is a project of passion for her. And she is going to let anybody who wants to use this software free. Yes, there may be some premium stuff in there. She has talked about maybe doing some premium stuff, like maybe she mentioned in her last video that if people, if someone that wants to use the software does not have like an AI API, they can't afford like a subscription to like ChatGPT or Grok or CDance or whatever that gets you an API key that you can use to create your avatars. She did like ruminate about possibly setting something up so that people that don't have access to the AI, like she may do a small little thing where they pay her for access to an API key or something that they could use, or helping them out some way where they could give her a little bit of money so she can basically use her AI, something like that. But that's it. Otherwise, the software itself is going to be free. And this is granting people the opportunity that have wanted to get into VTubing, but can't afford to get a model. And not, there are free VTuber models out there, but they're extremely limited in what is available. And so this is giving people who can't afford to get their own model an opportunity to get into, to get their foot in the door of the VTubing space with this, with this new software that basically gives you a live PNG. And she's offering it all for free. She's giving people the opportunity to get into the space that have been wanting to for no cost. She's doing it out of the generosity of her heart. And people are dumping on her, and fuck those people for doing it. These are people that either are just like, they're brainwashed about the AI, or they're trying to gatekeep because she has basically opened the door for a whole lot of people to come into the space, and they don't have a good following. And so they're terrified if this space gets flooded by new people, they won't be able to gain traction and get successful. And so they're desperately dumping on Leaflit to try and keep competitors from getting in and pushing them out because they don't actually have anything to offer in the first place. That is probably one of the two reasons why these people are going apeshit on her.
Presented this video showing off the software, and this is a really great thing. For those who don't know, PNG tubing is when you literally have a PNG still image while you're...
And by the way, you say it will only fuel her TTRPG. She did make it for her TTRPG as well. It can be used for that, but it's also used for VTubing. She made this for a friend. She made this for a friend who wanted to get into VTubing but couldn't afford a model, and so this was a cheap way for her friend to be able to, get into this space.
Waiting to get a 2D live VTuber model, okay? That's kind of the entry point for a lot of people before they get into VTubing. But Leaflit, free of charge, and by her own efforts, is providing a tool to bridge that gap. And a lot of people are very appreciative of this. Banana Juju saying, Leaf working her magic and changing VTubing forever. We love to see it. I am nothing but amazed of everything she has accomplished so far. Here's another one saying, man, if I had this when I was PNG tubing. The system I came up with used OBS hotkeys and a ton of animated GIFs I paid for. This looks way more user-friendly. Here's another one saying, Leaflit really is a creator of the people. First, she makes a TTRPG Angel Sword for free, and it gets constant updates. Now she is making this for free. If
Yes.
this is what Quangos mean when they say someone is a grifter, we need more grifters. I cannot wait to try it. And here's another one saying, Leaf out here casually destroying the VGen Mafia. She's releasing it for free. Riggers, as in VTuber riggers, are quaking right now. And yes, they were. To the point.
Damn it! Damn it! I'm upset. Why not me? What? Why not? Was I not glowing enough? Was I not glowing up Leaflit enough to warrant being a part of this? Damn it!
Point of Leaflit trending on Twitter.
What do riggers do? Riggers, so basically, when it comes to making a VTuber model, yes, Leaf. Leaf used to do game design. If I'm remembering her professional history, I believe Leaf used to be a game designer, professional, and so that's where she has all this experience when it comes to doing up stuff like this. But so the question is, what is a rigger? Yeah, it was a game was it for League of Legends? Okay. She worked for whoever developed League. Okay, I was not 100% sure, but yes, she was an actual game developer, game designer in her professional life before she started VTubing. So with what is a rigger? So when you create a VTuber model, it comes in two parts. First, you have the art done. So you would have an artist do up this strictly the visuals of the model. So like when I had this model made up, I had a rigger make up this model. Okay, I had an artist draw up this model, like all of the pieces. There's something like 135 different pieces in my model. Okay, between the clothes, the top, the skirt, the head, the hair, the various hairs, the toggles I have. Like there's about my model is comprised of about 135 pieces. So the artist draws up all of those pieces, like the visuals of it. Then after the artist draws that up, all of this data goes to a rigger, and the rigger, it basically is the puppeteer. The rigger is the one that basically facilitates all of the movement that you're seeing. Every scrap of movement that you see with my model, that is the work of a rigger. So they are effectively a puppeteer. The artist is to strictly the visuals, and the rigger is the person who it makes it possible to move. So for those of you that don't know what a rigger is, that is what a rigger is.
And yes, they were. To the point of Leaflit trending on Twitter. And of course, when a VTuber, a problematic one like Leaflit, is trending, it brings out the Quangos, as mentioned in the previous post.
Yep.
Who are here to virtue signal. But I want to start with this post from Leaflit showing a screenshot
I saw this,
that
yeah.
really encapsulates this entire debate. One person mad at Leaflit, quoting her, saying, "More AI in the VTuber space, a big slap in the face to customizable model makers, asset makers, riggers, artists, etc." And then...
Which, by the way, this is a fucking lie. More AI in the VTuber space is for the customizable model makers, asset makers, riggers, artists, etc. As a reminder, this is not a VTuber model. What the software Leaf has developed is not a VTuber model. It is effectively speaking a moving PNG. It does not nearly have the same mobility or adaptability that a VTuber model does. What Leaf software is doing is it's pre-programmed movements that there's some adaptability where she said like the software will recognize when you're speaking, it'll detect your voice in your microphone, and that will have the PNG model move its mouth like it's talking, and it can do face detection. So if you frown, then it will switch to the frowning, like the frowning expression, but it's kind of locked in. It's pre-programmed. It's not as flowing and fluid as a regular VTuber model. So there is a difference. So this thing, it's a big slap in the face to customizable model makers, asset makers, riggers, etc. No, it's not. Because it's not the same thing. It is a midway point between PNG and Live 2D VTuber model that is available to anybody. And by the way, there are probably like a shit ton of people that have started as PNG of tubers, and you'll hear them bitching about it. It's just it's insane. But what this person says, like, you'll see why this is like rich coming from this person in about 2 seconds.
In the related Discover More tab that was attached underneath, that same VTuber says, I put in a commission request for PNG VTuber on VGen and no word back after a week. Not even a message. Ugh. So I canceled it. I'm upset. It was so cute.
Yep.
And there you have it, right? People are literally trying to virtue signal and cancel Leaflit for providing a free AI-based tool while providing an alternative that they're upset about themselves because it's not working out.
And I bet you they're upset because they're butthurt that they didn't think of it. How many of these people that are attacking Leaflit are just jealous? A, that they didn't think of it first. B, because of the accolades that Leaf is getting from the VTubing community. From multiple VTubers, from multiple popular VTubers that are giving her absolutely due accolades and basically just praising her up because she absolutely deserves it. There, 100% jealousy is a big factor involved here.
At the end of the day, a lot of people would like to work with more artists, but it's very pricey, or they're getting canceled and their requests denied because of wrongthink. We have
they get scammed. That's another bit. Like, yeah, what Rev is talking about, the wrong, like, VGen artist basically saying, you know, taking commission and then looking at your social media and going, I don't like what you say, so I'm canceling, you know, I'm canceling my order with you. I don't ever want to work with you. Or you get artists, and I believe Kirsche has been a victim of this, if I'm not mistaken, since the Kirsche thing popped up. It's like you've had artists on VGen that will take a commission, start work, like take money for the commission, and then ghost. There have been so many instances of people talking about how they pay for some work by an artist and then get completely fucking ghosted by the artist, and they're out God knows how much money.
Seen so many artists refuse to work with people for their political beliefs or being problematic, what have you. But a tool like that provided by Leaflit gets rid of all that. It gets rid of the virtue signaling because it's a very real thing. A lot of people want to work with artists, but artists have made it very clear, I won't work with you if you're problematic, and even if I do, I'm going to charge a lot. So there is this provided, but people are really mad about it. This user saying, anybody saying, wow, this is amazing, needs a history lesson. This is Leaflit. She spent the last year glazing AI for her own pathetic, lifeless projects, and this is no different.
Pathetic, lifeless projects. She's one of the most popular creators of like AI music videos on the on like YouTube right now. She is incredible. Like, she's up there with like the Sky Bros in terms of people absolutely loving her music videos. To this day, I still will watch Put Him in the Box. I love Put Him in the Box. I still will continue to watch it to this day. It's a fucking banger of a song. And every other song that she's put out, people have absolutely loved. So again, this is someone that is jealous. It's probably a V-tweeter. So which means that they either can't afford a model or they basically don't have the stones to actually hit go live and actually put themselves out there as a VTuber. And so they're a V-tweeter. And it's all pure jealousy.
The entire thing is AI based. AI is not a magic wand to VTubing, and that's true. It's not a magic wand. You still have to make content, but if this bridges the gap and allows people to get to a starting point easier, wouldn't that be a good thing? But this person is getting destroyed. 58 likes versus 167 comments. Leaflit saying, Mom Spaghetti. Another comment saying,
Bruh.
it clearly is, and this is the worst it's going to be. The next version is going to
Yep.
be better, and then eventually the AI version will be superior to the traditional live 2D. Clearly it is, lol. I'm going to keep it real with you, Chief. They are bodying you in the comments, and you deserve it. Also, who is this judging others? A 30...
Fuck you, dude. You don't represent us in Canada. You don't, bye. You don't fucking represent us, bye. Go on, get it. Go on with you, bye. Get the fuck out of here. Just shut your fucking mouth there, bye. I'm a VTuber. Yeah, sure it is. Now speak. Okay, hang on. Chat. We gonna learn. We gonna learn with this one. Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir. So Niles Sebic. All right, let's take a look at Niles Sebic. Let's take a quick peek here. Let's take a quick peek here, shall we? Let's just. How am I spelling this? Oh, no C. All right. Let's take a look here. Oh, would you look at this? Hang on. Is it all one word? Oh, no, it isn't. Hang on. Here we go. All right, but let's see what we got here. Oh, what is this? Deutsch. Why is this Deutsch? Why did it take me here? What the fuck, bye? What the fuck? All right, we'll do this all right. I want to look this person up. Bye. Yes, sir. We're gonna look him up. Now's Naomi. Okay. Oh, great. We'll play this fucking game. What do we got here, bye? Oh, would you look at that, bye? Oh, would you look at that? Oh, my son, look at that. They got no fucking channel, bye. Oh, they supposedly got Twitch now, but oh, would you look at that? Oh, nothing there. Well, my son. Well, would you look at that? So why are you gonna go and bitching there, bye? Why is you gonna go and bitching there, bye, about this being bad for VTubers when you aren't even a VTuber, my son? My son, you need to just go shut your fucking mouth. Go get your nails kitchen before you whack you over the ass with a wood battle. Go get the shit stick and go clean out the oil there, bye. What the fuck are you doing? Seriously, shut the fucking trap, bye. Just shut it. Just shut it. I'm waiting for it. If I want to hear from you, I'd pull you out from under my skirt there, bye.
33-year-old they with 100 followers. Like, I'm not here to follow shame, but there is definitely a clear pattern where people with no measured success are coming out and attacking people like Leaflit.
I be sad and Irish. So that's because this brought the Newfie on. This brought the Newfie out in me, bye. And if you don't know the Newfies, they come from the Irish. So yes, that's why you've been hearing Irish, because it's the Newfie in me. And yes, you hear the Newfie, you're hearing Irish, because the Newfies is Irish. No, you don't worry about that, my son. It's everybody says that. In fact, the Irish fucking love the Newfies, because they always hear the Newfies and go, oh, it sounds like home there. Oh yes, bye. It sounds just like home.
For providing free resources to get your career going. And speaking of career, who is this policing the VTubing scene? Someone with no content. I checked.
They were picky to it. Yes, sir. Oh, my son. Rev was pulling it. Oh, Lord bless you, Rev. Lord bless you.
Out their Twitch link. No content. The page is not even there. Like, who is this? But here's another VTuber saying, can we stop bringing AI into every single creative field? The VTubing community is quite literally built on real human art and hundreds of artists' work.
Yes, bye. And it evolves. That's the thing. Art evolves. That is a very clear thing that people seem to constantly be forgetting in this day and age. That art, visual art it evolves. It started off as cave paintings, and then it became stone tablets, and then it moved on to marble and stone of carving, and then it moved on to pen to paper. And then it moved on to paintbrush on canvas. And then it moved on to even further than, then it went to like the, comic book art. And of course, I'm skipping a whole shit ton aside. And then it went to photography. And then photography evolved to digital photography. Digital photography evolved into using Photoshop instead of doing everything by hand. And now we have AI. It is a normal progression of how humans evolve with their technology. Yes, it was built on human art and has now evolved beyond that. No one is basically forgetting about the human art that started VTubing, but as with all things, time marches on, technology progresses, things change. Even the beloved Photoshop that traditional artists love to talk about, where all these traditional artists saying AI is destroying art and they use Photoshop. Guess what's in Photoshop? Fucking AI. AI is a core element of Photoshop right now. AI is here. It is going to be a part of artwork. Get the fuck used to it or get the fuck out.
Pick up a pen / serious. And of course, they mention VTubing community. There's no such thing as a VTubing community. There's only a VTubing scene.
The ones that complain that don't, the minute you bring up Nero, what do they always say? Well, Vettel did a whole ton of work to make Nero the way she is. Nero's not the same thing, because Vettel actually put a lot of work into it. Immediately discounting the fact that people that use AI for their artistry also put a lot of work into it in terms of the prompts that they use and the fine tuning. Like all the music videos that we see put out by Skybrows, Holy Ball, Grumpy, Leaf, who else? Blue for you, all and I'm neglecting a fuck ton of them, but sorry about that. But do you have any idea how many hours these AI artists put into making a 3-minute video? They will put in like 100+ hours trying to get everything right, doing countless generations because they didn't come out properly the first 100 times. They will literally spend hundreds of hours crafting the perfect scene and then stitching it all together and putting out a 3 or 5-minute music video. So to say that AI artists don't put in a hell of a lot of work is fucking bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And it also shows that they don't have a clue what they're talking about because they just assume, oh, you just write in a couple sentences of what you want and then the AI spits out it perfectly the first time. These are people that don't actually use the AI to create any artwork. Like, you guys were talking about the little thing, the little frolics that I do for side scrollers that I've done a couple frolics for side scrollers that I fire off to blabs in the middle of an episode. Sometimes, absolutely, I get lucky. And like there was like one time, I think it was with Kirsch's roller skating one. I think I got lucky and it was like the first or second gen. After I did my prompt, I think it came out great after like the first or second gen. I got lucky with the prompts I put in. I was able to get it. With the one that I do with Kirsche and Phoenix, where they were in a car, that one probably took me. I think that took me probably about like trying to work fast because it was in the middle of the show and I was trying to create something for the show. I think it took me like 20 generations to get it properly, to get it to the point where it would work and it wasn't all fucked up before I finally was like, okay, this works. It's doing AI art. It's like these people have no idea what actually goes into like the effort that it takes to go into to get things done properly in order for what they see the final result. Just like with regular artists that did traditional art, they don't see the efforts that AI artists go through. And by the way, I don't consider myself a professional AI artist, not by any stretch. I'm just a stupid anime girl that fucks around with it for fun. All the AI art stuff I do, I just do it for fun. These people that do it professionally, they put in time, effort, and money to get this stuff out. And not an insignificant amount. And these people that love to shit all over him don't even have a fucking clue the time, effort, and money that goes into creating some of the simplest stuff.
If you're focused on a greater community, which often consists of a bunch of virtue signalers in that related scene, you're already missing the mark. Focus on your own community. Big mistake right here. But this idea of just pick up a pen, well, you know what? Some people are not artists. Some people are looking for alternatives to the traditional sources, and that's what Leaflit is providing. But also, who are you? Another 100-follower person trying to speak on behalf of the quote-unquote VTuber community.
And I looked at this person's. I remember seeing this post too. I looked at this person's Twitch page. Questionable, to say the least. I would say that this person's content is somewhat questionable.
But here's another VTuber saying, soulless piece of trash is what I think this is. Even if you excuse the use of generative AI, as in, I can't draw, that's why I'm using it, there is so many custom models you can get for dirt cheap. Well, you know what? There's also this option, and people are choosing this option over traditional means because it's
because you can get some models dirt cheap. This is free. This software is free. Leaf is doing this out of the generosity of her own heart. And by the way, the custom models you can get dirt cheap, how good do you think the artistry and rigging is? Have you seen what the it's dirt cheap. Have you seen what the dirt cheap models look like and how well they're rigged? Typically speaking, they're very basic. The artistry probably isn't all that great, and the rigging is probably extremely stiff. This is Leaf offering it for free. Yeah, there's some you might need to pay for some AI gen if you don't have an AI generation API or anything like that. But that's like it's probably about the same as for these quote unquote custom models that are dirt cheap, and the quality is going to be better.
Easier, it's cheaper, and it's more accessible. And then again, you look at the accounts. I mean, the virtue signal is there. The first thing they want you to know is that they don't support AI, and they has 300 followers. Again,
and notice the flags. They flags in profile. Tweeter. That's Tweeter.
Again, not trying to shame someone for being a low follower account, but like, there's definitely a pattern here. The people so mad about this seem to have one thing in common, and it's that their concept is not proven to be tangibly successful. Here's another one saying, not only is this disrespectful to the VTuber cultural as a whole, but trash like this is why computers and phones are stupid expensive now. Wait a second. You're blaming Leaflit for phones being expensive? You think this entire scenario...
By the way, the whole thing about computers and phones being stupid expensive, that's going away soon, by the way. Everybody that loves bitching and moaning about, AI caused the RAN issue and the prices of computers are going up, guess what? That's going away soon with the new lunchboxes being put out by NVIDIA and AMD. NVIDIA and AMD are coming out with processors and even small lunchbox computers that will literally function like full rig gaming system, like top of the line gaming rigs, all for a cost of like, I don't know, $1,500, $2,000. And they will easily be on par with top of the line gaming systems. And by the way, the RAM is built into the processor. Like, the computer industry is already working on a way to move away to deal with the RAN issue by coming out with new technology that basically eliminates the need for RAM in the fucking first place. The unified memory is on the fucking chip. And these are computer systems that roughly speaking, don't have a final price. Expected cost is somewhere between maybe $1,500 to $2,000, and it's going to have the same capability as a gaming computer, and can also be used as a localized AI server. You can host an LLM on this and have your own local AI. So this excuse is like, it doesn't work anymore. It flat out doesn't work anymore.
Is the reason why phones are expensive nowadays. I mean, this is like Hassan blaming Israel for everything. Like, really? You're gonna blame a problematic VTuber for the price of phones? I think it's a bit of a reach. But of course, Leaflit, as she does with other projects, comes out
I was watching this today.
A 30-plus minute long update to her system, improving things and
great.
providing more resources for people. And of course, the usual suspects are still very upset. You have this VTuber rigger here saying, I hate this. There are hundreds of free VTuber models and assets.
That's a lie. There are not hundreds of free VTuber models out there. I know. I looked. There are free VTuber models out there. Absolutely there are. There are not hundreds. Not by any fucking stretch of the imagination. There's like a handful. I'd say, like, when I was hunting for a free VTuber model, when I first started VTubing, because that's how I started. I started with a free VTuber model. There was maybe 20 or 30. And trust me, I hunted. So this is a blatant fucking lie that there are hundreds out there. Blatant lie.
Out there made by artists. You don't need to use AI to be a VTuber. Well, that's your opinion. And of course, people chose a different route than you. And of course, you hate this so much, and yet in the replies, you promote your own Twitch channel. Like, you hate this situation so much, but you can't help but try to promote.
And I'm pretty sure she's not the only one that did this. I think there were a lot of VTubers that were blasting Leaf for this. And they would make it, they would retweet Leaf's post, say something disparage Leaf for what she's doing, AI bad, and then literally would respond to their own tweet promoting their stream, which means they don't actually care. It's not clout chasers. It's not clout chasers. It's not. It's something even more. It's more nefarious. They are capitalizing on a hot button issue. They saw how Leaf's post on this has blown up. And so they're like, I'm going to use this to get eyeballs on me to try and drive people to my stream. Yeah, engagement bait is a more adequate statement. And this person is not the only one that did it. There have been multiple that have done this. They'll retweet Leaf's post and then put a reply in their retweet where they're promoting their own shit.
Promote yourself in the replies. And it's always funny to see the reply from the original poster getting 8 likes on 2,200 views. Like, no one actually cares about the actual content supporting it. It's more about getting likes for the virtue signal post. No one cares about the follow through or your actual content whatsoever. And of course, this person is angry at a free option to get VTubers going because, well, they are a VTuber rigger themselves. This sort of technology, this sort of tool is literally putting them out of business, and yet they're so mad about it.
Except it's not. I have to disagree with Rev. It's not putting them out of business. Leaf is not putting out VTuber models. This is a clear distinction. I tweeted about this. When people were saying something, I did a tweet reply on this. Is that this is not, somebody said something like, this is going to replace VTubers. And I tweeted and said, no, it's not. This is an alternative, a cheap alternative option for people to get into the space. This is like, there are things that Leaf software can do that a VTuber model cannot do. However, there are also many things that a live 2D VTuber model can do that Leaf software is incapable of doing. Leaf software, as glorious as it is very limited to pre-programmed movements in like a looping cycle. And when it changes the emotes, there are times where it's like very obvious, where it's like it's like it's in one state and then it snaps to another state. If you engage if you engage in a different idle state or something, there, you can see the software changing states. Whereas with a VTuber model, obviously, it moves much more smoothly. So there are things that a VTuber model can do that Leaf software will not be capable of doing. So it's not putting riggers out of business, because there is still very much a market for VTube rigging. Like when I go with my V3 model, obviously, I'm not going to be able to use Leaf software for my V3 model. I'm going to need to go through an artist. I'm going to need to have an artist make up, do artistry for my model. And then I'm going to need to go to a rigger and have a rigger fully rig up the model. Leaf software is not going to be able to do this. And people are not making this distinction. Do we think her thing will replace that? No, I don't. Because Leaf software works off of PNGs. So no, Leaflit software will never get to a point that it will replace the VTuber model, because it's not that, because the technology it's using, the artistic basis of what it's doing is not the same as a live 2D model. So no, her shot there being that would place a VTuber model, or overtake a VTuber model, where it's basically it will become a VTuber model. Now, is it going to open up a completely new genre of VTubing? Absolutely. I think this is going to be a game changer for VTubing. And now, in addition to seeing live 2D VTubers, we may start seeing a plethora of adventure VTubers that are using Leaflet's live PNG model. And so you're going to start seeing a subset of VTubing that is effectively the live PNGs. That's what this is going to do. So it's not going to put no matter how much people like this bitch about it, it's not going to put riggers out of business. It's not.
Crashing out on people like Leaflit instead of just promoting their own experience, their own portfolio. Like, if you're such a better option and a better route, your work should speak for itself, but clearly they're pretty insecure about that. Here's another quote saying, OMG, it looks uncanny. AI does not belong in the VTuber/art space.
It looks uncanny. It's a fucking anime guy. It's a moving anime girl. You claim to be a VTuber, so your VTuber model looks uncanny. Why? Because it's a moving anime girl, you idiot.
Well, that's according to you with 200 followers. Again, not shaming, just a pattern being recognized. Here's another one saying this is very disturbing. Really? This is very disturbing to you?
Leaflet's being followed by VTube Studio itself. I didn't know that. Fucking based Leaf.
Anyways, they continue saying, I saw this account being followed by bigger VTubers and VTube Studio itself, which VTube Studio is the program I'm using right now to live record what I'm using right here, my VTuber model. This is the source basically every VTuber uses, so that's got a sting. And they say, I'm so confused. That account is pro AI? Hello? I thought those VTubers and artists don't support AI. Huh? Well, clearly you don't have much of a pulse on the VTubing scene. And of course, imagine the shock when a lot of the bigger VTubers, including the account running VTube Studio, just doesn't care. At the end of the day, people don't really care. If you're using whatever source, people don't really care if you're entertaining and you're providing content. And unfortunately, a lot of people in the VTubing scene, they focus way more on what VTubers are saying and what's getting likes rather than the reality. Because the reality is, if you're entertaining, no one really cares. They just want content. Yes. And virtue signaling.
Yeah, because guess what? Your model, how you look, is only a fraction of what it means to be a VTuber. I've said this before. When you are a VTuber, your model gets you about 5 minutes when someone new shows up in your stream. That's it. Even if you have a drop-dead sexy model with big tits and is scantily clad and showing off a ton of skin, you as a VTuber, that your model gives you about 5 minutes with a new viewer to get them to stay. You know what happens after that 5 minutes? It's your personality. It's your voice. It's your personality. It's your content. That's what keeps them there. The model is the introduction. It's the foot in the door. You, as the person, is what keeps people in your stream. And I'm going to hazard a guess that this person maybe isn't putting out an entertaining stream and thus having a significant amount of viewers. And I guess they're an artist, so there's a reliance upon the model, thinking if I make a pre-model, then people will just come in. And it works for about 5 minutes. After that, it's on you. And if you cannot retain and grow an audience, that's on you as the individual, not on what your model looks like. For fuck's sake, do I even need to talk about Burnt fucking Peanut? Like, despite what you may think about Burnt Peanut, if there's like a question whether or not he bots or doesn't bot, whatever, he is literally a peanut with the eyes and a mouth. He is literally a clutch cargo come to life. And look at how successful he is. Do you think he's that successful because of his model? No, he's successful because of his personality, just like every other VTuber on the platform. Yes, he's an asshat. I agree, but people enjoy that.
React. I stayed for the beautiful personality of the woman behind the cat ears.
Thank you. Yeah. That's what people like this are deliberately choosing to ignore. Well, all their complaints about, it was done with AI. It was done with AI. They're shit because they made it with AI. Yeah, but you know what? They're popular because of the person behind the model. That is what they're very conveniently forgetting.
About AI on Twitter is not content people enjoy. But the virtue signaling continues. This person saying, free block lists. Ah, yes. Make sure to alienate yourself from VTubers and virtue signal about this, and also try to block people who are supporting this, but clearly you're not too invested because you didn't block Leaflit. You had to make this quote and interact
I wonder why.
for what? Attention, I guess. Yep. But here's another one saying, if you support this, unfollow me right now, please. There's so many...
And by the way, this person doesn't mean that. When they say, if you support this, unfollow me right now, because you know what happens? You know what would happen if they lost a shit ton of followers because they support Leaf? You know what they'd be doing? Their next post would be, why am I losing so many followers? They would instantaneously panic and start crying and saying, why am I losing so many followers? It's all performative. Every bit of this is performative. They are literally they are using Leaflit as a means to engagement farm for themselves, to get eyeballs on them. That's why they're doing this. They realistically, these people don't care. These people don't care about Leaflit system, but they saw her post about it blowing up and they said, I could use this to promote myself. I can get eyeballs on me and try and get people into my stream. And that's all it is. Because like simply just retweeting it and get it, they have to rage bait and try and get people to go, oh, I wonder what this is all about. Maybe I should go check out the stream. The problem is it doesn't work. That kind of engagement farming doesn't work.
Free options, and I myself have been donated customizable models from kind people to start out as a VTuber. You don't need this.
Extra doubt. Big time extra doubt that she has been donated customizable models from people. Big time X to doubt on that one.
AI garbage. Well, here's the thing. You got a lucky break. You're literally admitting it that you got given models for free. So what if you don't get models for free? Maybe you should find a free resource like this? I don't know. But of course, you can see the, if you support this, unfollow me right now. Is anyone actually doing that? Like, seriously, does anyone see this and it's like, oh, jeez. I am following this person, but I do support Leaflit's post. I guess I'm going to have to unfollow. It's just, it's all for virtue signaling. That's all it is. But here's another one saying, this is insulting to VTubing, as being a VTuber has always involved real artists making amazing models, not slop like this. And of course, the same person, when getting bodied in their own replies, says muting this or whatever the other critters say. I know I'm getting bodied or whatever, but you guys in the comments, you do you. If you don't want to learn arts and feel proud of what you've created and just have a machine do it for you, have fun with trying to copyright your VTuber. I don't really think that is something these individuals are too worried about, but it seems like live and let live is not really your stance. I mean, it seems like it's the opposite. You're mad about people using this. You're calling it slop and trying to virtue.
Oh, no, you can't. If it's AI generated, you can't copyright AI generations. That's what they're like. Again, this person's like, this is not a VTuber. This is a PNG plus, and so something like that. Okay, well that's music. With AI, with visual AI art, I believe it was determined that you cannot copyright AI art. That I believe, I can't remember if those actually done through the courts or not, but you're not, again, you're not using AI art to create your VTuber. This is deliberately conflating and basically trying to engagement farm and rage bait.
Signal about it seems a bit hypocritical. But of course, Leaflit would weigh in on this, saying the reason people are so militantly anti-AI is because it brutally exposes their lack of impetus. No more excuses, the walls are crashing down. One is forced to face the monster of their own inaction and lack of drive. And she adds on this reply saying, you can see when they go mask off that it's all about maintaining the keys to their kingdom.
There it is,
this user says, because AI removes any meaning or value to talent, it put the most talented and talentless people on equal footing regarding the result. And she says, good. Now, of course, this is a very convoluted subject, and I know it's one that people feel very strongly about, so I'm very interested in what you guys have to say, but I think the pattern of behavior and the outrage here is very recognizable. We've seen this a million times before in the VTubing scene and across content creation. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams every week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Like, what it boils down to is Leaflit is doing something great for the people. She is a slime of the people. And there are a lot of folks that absolutely fucking hate that. Because they were holding on by a thread to a tiny little bit of, I'll be generous and call it specialness. But like they were desperately clinging to this kind of minute amount of specialness by their streams that had maybe 10 or 20 people into them. And now they realize, oh, shit, there's a lot more people that are going to be coming into this space, and I might be exposed as not being an entertaining or engaging streamer that I am, and that there are going to be more voices in this space that people may go to instead of me, and my career might be over. And they're terrified of that. And that's why and for some of them that actually are VTubers that are bitching about this, that's what they're scared of. They're scared of competition because this is going to open the door for a lot of competition of all new streamers. And they might get exposed as being, well, I don't actually I don't actually provide an entertaining stream for people to come to and enjoy themselves. I'm actually just shallow and just wanted to make money off of this and not actually have fun. And people are going to fuck off away from my stream and instead tune into streamers that actually are having fun. There's a whole, there's going to be an arena of new voices coming on to streaming platforms with Leaf's software that she's making available to everybody. And they're terrified that the free market may have just gotten a hell of a lot bigger and that they're going to be out in the cold and won't be able to do this for a living like they've been dreaming of. And that is what they're really scared of in the end. And so they're fighting tooth and nail to basically try and keep from getting exposed and actually being forced to go file a job application instead of having a career of being streaming just like they've always dreamed of. That's basically what this all boils down to. They're scared. They're scared, and they're going to have to actually look in a mirror and realize maybe B2Me isn't for me.
Ember burns bright, bright.